Most rental properties don't fail because of bad tenants. They fail because the investor bought the wrong deal. And the scary part, most people don't even realize it until it's too late. And after over 20 years in this business, I can tell you this. The difference between someone who builds a portfolio and someone who quits after their first or second deal all comes down to one thing. They don't know how to analyze deals the right way. In the last video, I showed you where to find the deals. In this one, I'm going to show you how to tell if a deal is actually going to make you money or drain your bank account. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so we're here on Redfin. What I want to do is search for a property so you can see how this works in real time. Why don't we look for a property in Atlanta, Georgia? Now, under filters, we're just going to enter $150,000 to $300,000. And under beds and baths, let's start with 2 bedrooms and up. We're going to leave baths alone and scroll down to where it says home type and click on house. Now, once we click on house, we're going to scroll down a little bit more and you're going to see time on Redfin. And we're looking for the longest days on market. So in this case, it's going to be more than 180 days. And as you can see at the very bottom, there's 116 homes. Now, once we click on that, what we want to do is search for properties that give evidence that there may be some motivation. Now, we already have a really good filter here, which is the longest days on market, 6 months or more, 180 days or more. But we want to look for even more filters that will give evidence that there's some motivation here. So as we scroll down a little bit, just looking at these properties, look, I spotted one right here, $179,000 house. This property actually needs some work on the exterior, which is probably why it's been sitting there for a little while. Let's go ahead and click on it. So as you can see, we have a price point of $179,000. The bed and bath setup is 3 bedroom, 2 baths on the property. We can see it's been on Redfin for 306 days, so almost an entire year. And if we scroll down, we can get more information on the property. We can see a payment calculator where it's estimating a payment right around $1,139 per month. And as we scroll down, we can get more information on this particular property. So we said this property was listed at $179,000. Again, it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath property, about 1,400 square feet. Now, at first glance, this is the type of deal a lot of beginners get excited about. They see a property that needs some work. Maybe it's a little overpriced and it's been sitting on the market for a very long time. Now, Redfin doesn't always allow rent estimates. So we don't technically know what it can rent for, but just knowing the Atlanta area and knowing what houses like this can actually rent for, I have a pretty good idea. Now, for you, until you get experience doing this, you might want to use a site like rentometer.com in order to be able to pull your rental comps so that you can justify your numbers when you're looking at these properties. So again, what I would do and what you should do is use comparable sales based on properties like in kind in this particular area. A house like this is probably going to rent for somewhere between $1,500 to $1,700 a month. So let's just call it $1,600 a month to keep it really simple. So a beginner, again, will look at this and say, okay, $1,600 a month in rent. Maybe my mortgage is right around $1,100. We just saw that right at the bottom, right here, $1,139 a month. Let's call it $1,100 a month to keep numbers simple. But someone that's brand new might look at that and say, okay, the difference between $1,600 and $1,100 a month is $500 a month. The problem is that's not how this works. So let's go ahead and break this down the right way, because this is where most people either make money or they make mistakes. Now, here's where most people lose control of their deals. It's not about finding the deals. It's about what happens after you buy it. Because they're not tracking anything, they don't know their real numbers. And that's how bad deals go unnoticed. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Most real estate investors don't even know their real net worth. And it's not because they're not making money. It's because everything is scattered. You've got properties, loans, equity, expenses. But your balance sheet is either in Excel or sitting somewhere in your CPA's office. And when it's time to make a move, maybe refinance, scale, or partner with somebody, you don't actually have a clear picture. And that's exactly why I use Baselane. Baselane is a simple banking platform built specifically for real estate investors like you and I, with built-in bookkeeping. And with the new features in Baselane Smart, you can now see your entire financial picture in real time. I'm talking about assets, liabilities, equity, loan balances, even depreciation, all in one spot. No spreadsheets, no waiting on your CPA anymore. And here's the best part. You can generate CPA-ready balance sheets in just a few seconds. But this is where it gets powerful. Baselane now lets you track cost segregation directly in the platform, which basically means you can now break down your property into assets. You can accelerate depreciation, and you can reduce your taxable income, all without tracking everything manually. So this saves you hours during tax season. And more importantly, it shows you what your portfolio is doing in real time. And the best part is you can manage all of this directly from your phone. You can track rent. You can track expenses, property performance on the go. And if you're serious about scaling your portfolio and actually understanding the numbers, check the Baselane link in the description box below. Let's get back into the content. So we said this property can probably rent for $1,600 a month. Now that's a realistic number based on properties like this in Atlanta. But here's where most people get this wrong. They stop right there. They'll say, okay, my rent is $1,600 a month. Maybe my mortgage is right around $1,100. So let's go ahead and subtract $1,100 from that. Now I'm making $500 a month. The problem is that's not real cash flow. So let's walk through this like an actual investor. First thing you got is property maintenance. Now, even if you're managing this property yourself, you still need to account for it because eventually you're not going to want to manage everything yourself. So let's call that 10%, which is $160. So we got to subtract $160 off of that bottom number. And we'll see we're down to $1,440 or $340 in passive income. But it doesn't stop there. Next, we have CapEx. And this is where a lot of beginners get hurt because things will break down. Roofs go bad, HVAC systems fall apart, water heaters stop working eventually. And the longer you have the house, the more money you're going to eventually have to put into the house. You got to keep up the property with maintenance. So we're going to use a conservative number and call it another 10%. So let's say 10% off of that number, which is another $160, is now going to bring us down to $180 a month in cash flow. But it doesn't stop there. Now we got to factor in vacancy because even in a good market, you're not going to be rented 100% of the time. So let's call that 5%, which is another $80. So let's subtract $80 off of that number. Now we're at a solid $100 per month. And we haven't even talked about taxes, insurance, unexpected repairs. So realistically, you're probably in a negative when you factor in those numbers. So that $500 a month is really closer to $100 a month if everything goes right. Let that sink in for a second. Because this is where people get in trouble. They buy a deal thinking it's a strong deal, but in reality, it has no room. And that's why we got to run a property through what's called a stress test. So let's take it one step further because a stress test is what separates real investors from beginners. So here's a couple of things you want to ask yourself. What happens if the rent drops to $1,400? What happens if you lose a tenant for a month or two? What happens if a $3,000 or $5,000 repair hits at the same time? Now that $100 profit is completely gone and you're paying out of pocket. And if a deal only works when everything goes right, it's not a deal. This is exactly why I say it's not about how much a deal makes. It's about how much it can take before it breaks. Now, let me ask you this. Would you have looked at this deal and thought it was a good deal if you were analyzing this on your own? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts about this. Now, let me tell you how I personally look at deals after doing this for over 20 years. I'm not asking how much I can make. I'm asking how much can a deal give me? I want margin. I want protection. I want flexibility because markets shift, tenants change, and expenses go up. And honestly, if you got a tight deal at the very beginning, it's only going to get worse over time. I actually made this mistake myself in the beginning. I bought a deal that looked good on paper. The numbers worked, but they were tight. And what ended up happening is every time something came up, it ate into the profit. So instead of making the money I was expecting to make, I was simply holding on to the property. Now, thankfully, it worked out over time. But to be honest with you, that deal taught me something I would never forget. Just because a deal works doesn't necessarily mean it's a good deal. You see, banks look at something called DSCR, debt service coverage ratio. You probably heard of these types of loans before. If the property can't cover its debt, you don't just lose this deal. You lose your ability to scale. And that's a problem. So let me run through a few mistakes I see beginners make all the time. Number one, they only look at rents minus the mortgage. Number two, they ignore CapEx completely. Number three, they always assume the property will be rented. Number four, they overestimate what they think the property will rent for. And number five, They don't track their numbers after they buy. That's how a bad deal can hide in plain sight. So let's talk about how professionals think long term. There's only two things that matter. You got cash flow, which is today, and you got equity, which is protection. And if you're losing $200 a month hoping the market saves you, you're not investing, you're gambling. One bad deal doesn't just cost you money. It sets you back years, and it can kill your confidence as well. And most people never come back from that. And if you're serious about getting your first deal, don't just watch this. Apply it. Drop system in the comments below. I want to see who actually stayed and are ready to do this the right way. And if you want help building your own deal analysis system, be sure to check the link in the description box below. And now that you know how to find deals and how to analyze them, the next question is how to actually pay for them. And in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to finance your rental properties without putting yourself in a bad position. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.